ready for it, understanding the implications of this one. D. Cantner, Lonnie Spurlock, Welsh, Rod Creech, your officiating crew this afternoon. Let's get going from Carmichael. Paulina Paris still out day-to-day with a lower body injury for the Tar Heels, so it's a second straight start for Nyla Kelly. And here is Deja Kelly. Leading scorer for North Carolina, Lexi Donarski, the transfer from Iowa State. On the shot clock. Good defense being played by one of the best defensive teams in the ACC in Louisville. Deja Kelly got stuck with the dribble and win one for the defense. Possession number one for the Cards.
The perfect start for Louisville, a team that prides itself on defense, Jen. To get a shot clock violation, that is how Jeff Walz wanted his team to start.
You cannot talk about this Louisville team without talking about its balance. There is no one big superstar. It's a team unlike any other under Jeff Walz. Olivia Cochran could be that superstar, though. The presence inside, and she's got the first points of the game.
She is the player that's been around the longest, Jen. Her fourth season here at Louisville.
There you see the full starting five for North Carolina. Cannot forget about number one, Alyssa Ustby does a little bit of everything, and Maria Gakdang, the transfer from Boston College, on the inside. Donarski evens it up.
Very good sign for North Carolina. Donarski has gone cold over the last couple of games, but she is one of the best shooters in the league.
Three transfers in the starting five for Louisville. Sydney Taylor from UMass, Kiki Jefferson, Cards leading scorer from James Madison, and Nina Rickards from Florida. This Jefferson. Oh, she hits it. 12.4 to lead Louisville this season. Could have more, Kelly, but Jeff Walz is telling us she is just such an unselfish player.
She is so smooth, can truly score at all three levels, that time with a hand in her face, but it did not matter.
Nothing coming easy on this end for North Carolina. Nyla Kelly picking up the dribble out to Donarski. Hit her first shot. Maybe that's what she needed.
Great defense by Kiki Jefferson. Blocked off the driver, but Donarski made herself available and hit a very tough shot.
Taylor double figures the last three games for Louisville. This is Rickards driving into the teeth of the defense. Ustby comes away with the ball. Deja Kelly saw a glimmer of open space. That was enough, and then she catches it on the baseline, so that'll give it back to the Cardinals.
Lexi Donarski is someone who has gotten going for UNC from beyond the arc, but how about Kiki Jefferson? One dribble, knocks it down, and Donarski, again, both these shots for both these players, hand right in their face, but they find a way to make it.
Cochran on the baseline going up against Gakdang. Cards want to go back inside. Nyla Harris, a little strong. Kelly, setter step, travel. Jeff Walz in his 17th season in charge of the Cards. 5 straight Elite Eights. If that sounds impressive, it is. He is the only coach. Louisville is the only team in the country who can make that claim. Taylor tries a three, it's good.
Deja Kelly got caught on the screen, and you cannot leave Sydney Taylor open like that from three. This is a fade screen, so Deja Kelly trying to get over Nyla Harris, a little bit of contact, but wide open look for Taylor, who's a great shooter at UMass, coming over from that program, as you mentioned, Jen. Only 28% on the season, but she is a better shooter than that overall. I expect that number to rise for the rest of the year.
Yeah, she made 104 three-pointers last season, led the A-10. Donarski,
That was so impressive by Donarski, and a great pass by Deja Kelly. Underrated pass, right in her shooting pocket. She didn't have to do anything else but let it fly.
Cochran, big on the offensive glass. Tar Heels ready to run. Donarski got dang the first two down the floor, but Donarski, who had missed her last 6 three-point attempts coming into this game, was 2 of 13 in the last 3 games from 3. Hit her first 2. I don't think you could blame her for trying another.
What did I say to you, Jen, at shoot-around? This feels like the day that Donarski breaks out of her slump. Jen, this is the replay I'm talking about where Donarski, she catches it right in her shooting pocket. Watch this. The most fluid motion to get that ball off. Less than a second for her to get that shot off, and a good pass by Deja Kelly, knowing where Donarski wants it. But you got to have that quick trigger, especially in the ACC as a shooter. So well done by Donarski.
Kiki Jefferson at the free throw line. Donarski committing the foul, and Jefferson had that 3 to start off her day here. Last time she faced the Tar Heels, Kelly, she put up 30 and 10. That was playing with James Madison. She was the only player all of last season to score 30 points against the Tar Heels.
She likes playing the team in the Carolina Blue.
Donarski. What a start for Lexi Donarski, already in double digits.
She has all 10 of North Carolina's points. It's Lexi Donarski 10, Louisville 9.
Taylor driving is fouled. It'll be no basket. Foul called on the floor. And that's 2 on Donarski, who might be the Tar Heels' best defender.
And in this situation, I do not think that's a defensive foul. I think that's an offensive foul with the elbow from Sydney Taylor. Tough call to give Donarski the second foul. As you can see, she's frustrated. So now, 10 points, all of UNC's points, has to go to the bench.
The bench, yeah. India Navarre, Stanford transfer on for Donarski. And Kelly, I'm gonna ask you this too. How much of that is by design, by Jeff Walz in Louisville, knowing that Donarski's out to such a hot start, already had 1 foul, they went right at her, it looked like.
Jeff Walz is one of the best coaches in the country, and his teams are so cerebral because he is. And so that's something that he's going to emphasize, that they're going to know. This is UNC's leading scorer. She's already has a foul. We got to go right at her. So that's a good job by Louisville.
You do get the feeling it's Deja Kelly time. Hasn't got her scoring day started yet, but look at the Cards run the floor. Ustby and Taylor both tangled up just outside the paint. 1-point game. Louisville in the lead at the moment with under 5 to go in the first. Usually has at least a couple of them in attendance. I think I see them over there behind the North Carolina bench. It was all about that life, mom life, sports life. There they are. It is Eli and Gray. Tucker, the other son, I don't believe here at the moment. She said Eli wasn't going to miss it. Loves the sports like his mom. And Gray, I just want that jacket. I mean, the sparkle. Got a little bit of a delay here. The officials are just over looking at something. We'll give you an update if there is anything to report. They were looking at whether a three-pointer was indeed a 3 by Louisville in those first 5 minutes, and it was, so the score remains as is. Louisville up 1, and now we're ready to inbound the ball. To shoot. Here is Ustby. Navarre running the lane off the glass. It's good.
Alyssa Ustby is one of the best passers out of the post position in the ACC. She draws so much attention. That time a great dish to Navarre.
Can you say one of the best, just fill in the blank for Alyssa Ustby?
That's true. She does so many things well. Maybe I should just say one of the best passers, period. Leave it at that.
Kelly with points for the Tar Heels leading scorer, who has been on an absolute tear, averaging 25.7 the last 3. Ustby, tough shot. Here is Kelly's X factor for Louisville in off the bench. Jayda Curry averaging 8.8 points per game for the Cal transfer off the bench for the Cards. Crossover from Jefferson opened up some space. Taylor saying there's contact, uncalled.
You got people flying all over the place in this game, Jen, so far.
Nyla Kelly back to her feet after she went down.
Nyla Kelly playing a bigger role with Paulina Paris, who you mentioned earlier, out with a lower body injury. Nyla Kelly, a true freshman, starting at point guard for the Heels.
Curry picking up the foul as Deja Kelly driving to the basket. Her first. Team second. A lot of intensity. I think both coaches anticipated that. Which one of them was it? Courtney Banghart, I believe, who said she was envisioning a rock fight as this one got started, but just 2 team fouls so far.
And she said what's most important when you're playing Louisville is you can't get bullied, especially early. Louisville's a physical team. They're a defensive-minded team. They're very mentally tough. And I think so far, UNC has accomplished that. An equal matchup at this point in the game.
Under 9, Ustby going one-on-one in the post. That's an offensive foul. First on Ustby.
Great job by Kiki Jefferson. The second Ustby leaned a little bit, lowered that shoulder, Kiki Jefferson took the contact. That's a good call.
Yep.
And a good job by Kiki Jefferson playing defense until the opposing player's body was lowered into her and then took the charge.
A couple of minutes without a point for Louisville as Harris drives. Ustby holding her ground.
That time on the flip side, great defense by Alyssa Ustby. Good job getting position.
Navarre driving to the basket. This time it is a blocking foul. This is not an easy one to referee, is it?
It is not. And India Navarre attacking the rim. That is a good call. Istanbuloglu was too late. Too late there to get position as Navarre was already leaving the floor and in the air, which is the main key for a charge call. We've talked about Curry being a spark for Louisville off the bench. India Navarre can be that spark for North Carolina off the bench, the transfer from Stanford.
4 points in the game for Navarre. Marissa Russell, Elif Istanbuloglu, who you just mentioned, picking up that foul, both in for Louisville off the bench. Jefferson driving, good.
Jefferson, great awareness that Anya Poole was having to hedge and help for a split second. Jefferson knows she can get by the bigger Poole and goes right to the rim.
Ustby switching over to the right. Has her first points.
We're seeing some agile, bigger post players attack some of these slower post players. We saw that with Kiki Jefferson and then Ustby using their speed to get to the rim.
North Carolina shooting 58% from the floor right now. Hitting the offensive glass and the defensive glass. Poole had it. Then a little miscommunication turns it over.
Poole grabbed that rebound. I'm looking over to the UNC side. Banghart had looked to the bench to see, she was talking to someone, looked up and said, what just happened? Where did that ball go? Anya Poole just lost control of it.
What a battle this is, though. North Carolina at the moment out rebounding Louisville by 3. But it is just, you feel like punch for punch, each team has been delivering so far.
That's what we expect, Jen. Top 25 matchup.
Top of the ACC matchup as well. Louisville, the only remaining unbeaten team in conference play. Too much contact. And the whistle blows against Nyla Kelly, her first. 4th team foul against North Carolina, so the next one will put Louisville on the line. Louisville, very good free throw shooting team. They get to the line a lot. Jefferson. That ball wasn't going anywhere else but up. And Jefferson got that deep in the paint, but North Carolina said, not today. At least not that possession. off the bench, the 6'4" redshirt sophomore for the Tar Heels. Nyla Kelly, her first two, largest lead of the game for North Carolina at 5.
Nyla Kelly rejected the screen, so was able to get a step on the Louisville defender, knocks down a nice mid-range.
Marissa Russell has her shot blocked by Key. And Kelly's gonna go right back to the shot blocker. We'll get a chance to get some points on the free throw line.
You love to see that from a post player when you get a block and then you run the floor and make yourself available for your guard in transition. So perfect block from Tiani Key, who just came off the bench for North Carolina. And then a really good pass from Nyla Kelly to find Key streaking down the right side.
Tiani Key missed the first 10 games of the season with a lower body injury, coming off a 10-point game, her season high on Thursday. Speaking of Thursday, every Thursday on ACC Network, you know we have a women's basketball doubleheader coming your way this week at 6. Number 15 Florida State is in Durham to take on Duke, and then at 8, this North Carolina team hosting Miami right here in Chapel Hill.
UNC's schedule, which has already been tough, Jen, to start ACC play. Doesn't get much easier after this with a pesky Miami squad.
Not sure it ever gets easier in the ACC. 6 teams ranked at the moment, and even those who aren't, there are no easy outs. Travel called, and Louisville getting a bit out of sync as this first quarter has gone on. They're 0 for their last 4, 1 of their last 8.
Offensively, Louisville's been driving and putting their head down, not looking for others, not really looking where they are, just driving and trying to draw contact, not necessarily trying to score.
Final countdown of this first quarter. Deja Kelly still looking for her first point. What a way to get him!
My goodness, what a tough shot, Jen. Take another look at this. Deja cannot score consistently to keep up with UNC.
And Louisville started the game 4 for 8 from the floor, finished the first quarter 1 for 8. And maybe getting number 44 involved is a good idea.
Olivia Cochran has been one of their most consistent scorers outside of Kiki Jefferson. I like that play call to go to her early.
Lexi Donarski back on the floor for the first time since she went out on the 4.5-minute mark of that first quarter with 2 fouls.
Olivia Cochran, a veteran for this Louisville team in her 4th season with the Cards. Her mid-range has been excellent at the 5 spot for Louisville. Louisville applying a little more pressure, trapping on that ball screen, but they got called for a hand check.
Foul was on Cochran. Kelly, another tough drive, and it's an offensive foul. Louisville defense doing a good job when North Carolina has tried to drive to the basket.
Deja Kelly was trying to avoid the trap. She went the other way, rejected the screen, but then Louisville was still there to make a great defensive play.
Kelly with her first foul. Cochran, by the way, picked up the last Louisville foul. She now has 2. Curry into the game. One of the best shooting threats. Not that time, but her teammates bailing her out with the offensive rebound. No shot clock reset, though. It's at 7. Taylor goes inside to Cochran. Turns around, good.
Smooth move, little jump hook action from Olivia Cochran. Also, Lexi Donarski back in the game for North Carolina with those 2 fouls.
Kelly is not going to stop driving. This time she does draw the blocking foul against Louisville.
Look at this move from Olivia Cochran. Strong, 1 dribble to the right and the hook. Beautiful move by the senior, who has continued to add elements to her game every year she's been at Louisville. Also talked to us, Jen, about taking her nutrition more seriously this year, eating more balanced meals, and how that's helped her be in what I think we would say the best shape that she's been in a Louisville uniform.
And you can see it. I mean, I was really impressed seeing her in person for the first time, the way she runs the floor, the way she defends. She said she feels it everywhere.
She's a weapon, too. She can guard 1 through 5 defensively. They can switch. She can trap on Deja Kelly. It really helps Jeff Walls with his defensive game plan.
Lily Love Georgia Tech transfer on the floor now for Louisville. Taylor, the drive, and a foul by North Carolina. Basket is good.
Sydney Taylor attacking the rim, drawing that contact and somehow getting that shot up in time for it to count, and somehow putting that ball in. That was a difficult look from Sydney Taylor.
And she's got 6 in the game now. The UMass transfer, all A-10 first team selection last season. And a 3-point game. Good start to the quarter for the Cards, outscoring North Carolina 6-1. Taylor, though, picking up the foul, her second personal.
This has been a physical game so far. It feels like in this second quarter they're calling a few more of those hand checks on ball handlers when they're being guarded. They're calling more of that than they did in the first quarter. We're already seeing 4 combined fouls in this second quarter. So these players are going to have to start defending without their hands, because it seems these referees are a little more willing to call it now.
Calling for it. Looked like she had good positioning, but just enough of a fingertip on the ball to get it away for Louisville, and they get the possession to boot.
The Cards have really good length defensively. A lot of players in that 5'11", 6-foot range on the wing can make those entry passes difficult.
Louisville leading the all-time series against the Tar Heels 9-4. They won the only meeting last season on their home floor. It's going to go the other way. There is not a ball, not a rebound, not a loose ball that is not just being absolutely battled for in this game so far. Donarski with the drive. Gakdang puts it up herself, it's good.
Gakdang's first look of the game where she got a shot off. She needs to attack that offensive glass, and a great job by her.
All 5 starters have scored now for North Carolina. Donarski hit 2 threes in the first quarter.
It's tough, Jen, when you're so hot to start the game and have to go to the bench because of foul trouble. It's just the worst feeling for a shooter when you're feeling it before you get those fouls.
To shoot, Curry passes it out. Love goes out of bounds. It'll stay here, but just 4.4 seconds on the shot clock for Louisville.
Plenty of time to catch and shoot, plenty of time to take a 1-dribble pull-up, even get to the rim. You don't need to rush whenever you catch it at Louisville.
Knew exactly where they wanted to go. It's Curry for 3.
Excellent execution by Louisville on that baseline out of bounds, and getting Jayda Curry, their best shooter, an open look from 3.
Another offensive foul, which is the second on Kelly, both of the offensive variety in this game.
Here's the execution from Louisville. Nyla Kelly gets caught too low, so she gets screened just by default because of all the black jerseys down there in the paint. Open look for Jayda Curry. And now 2 fouls on Deja Kelly, as well as Donarski for North Carolina.
Seven on the shot clock. Jefferson pulls up.
Donarski has done such a good job defending, even with those 2 fouls. It's a very tough thing to do when you picked up those early fouls, but it hasn't slowed down her effectiveness.
Well, Donarski, one of the best defenders ever to play at Iowa State, as Jefferson hits again for Louisville, ties this game at 25. First Iowa State player to be named Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, Donarski. grad transfer joining the Tar Heels this season.
Sorry, Jen. We knew Louisville would not go away. 12-3 run for the Cards to start this quarter.
Kiki Jefferson got trampled in that last collision, and I only laugh because that's basically what this game has been. The player needs a full suit of body armor, it feels like, in this matchup. This is the top of the ACC, top 25. It's what you expect. Jefferson picking up the foul, her second personal. And now 5:32 on the clock. The next Louisville foul is going to put North Carolina on the free throw line.
Weirdly, though, UNC only a 65% free throw shooting team. They have struggled from the free throw line. Louisville, on the other hand, shoots almost 80% as a team from the line.
And they average Louisville over 15.5 made free throws per game, ranked second in the ACC. Ustby looking inside, back there, blocked. Louisville looking for the lead. Curry. Offensive rebound by Harris, and one opportunity coming.
What a rebound by Nyla Harris, and the finish. She's hyped up after that one. You can tell how much this game means to both of these teams. Not just the top 25 aspect of it, not just wanting to win every single night, but we mentioned this in the open. The tiebreaker is huge here because North Carolina and Louisville most likely are going to finish in that top 4 in the ACC. This could be the game that decides it if they finish with the same record.
It was a tight one last time the two teams met here. North Carolina got the victory 2 years ago. We'll look back at that in a moment. Kelly banking in the three.
The Carmichael comforts, right, Jen? The comforts of home. Sometimes you can bank in a three at home.
Lulu, freshman from Turkey. Can't get around Gakte. That's beyond the move for North Carolina, going all the way up and in. Timeout on the floor. North Carolina up by 3. I mentioned the last meeting. It came down to the final few seconds. It was a huge victory for North Carolina. The game it was. Emily Ensler for Louisville picked up a technical foul late in the fourth quarter, had to leave the game. And then Deja Kelly helping the Tar Heels get out in front. A last chance shot didn't quite go for Louisville. North Carolina hung on to win 66-65. And look at that ranking, Kelly. Louisville ranked number 3 at the time. That remains the highest ranked opponent that North Carolina has taken down under Courtney Bankart.
And those two teams went on to have great runs in the postseason. Louisville, of course, made the Final Four that year. North Carolina made the Sweet 16 and played South Carolina, who they eventually lost to, better than almost anybody in that tournament.
And here we go again, a 3-point game. North Carolina leading Louisville. Cardinals have had the advantage in this quarter, though, outscoring North Carolina 14-8. Turnover into the hands of Kelly. Kelly to Kelly connection. Renaya to Deja for North Carolina. Ustby, that pass, have the right touch on it from Gakte. 8th turnover.
Underrated thing for Louisville is they have that turnover pretty deep in the paint. They get back so quickly. They do not allow North Carolina to capitalize off of that mistake.
What a move to the other side. Nyla Harris has 6.
I really like Nyla Harris's game. Super skilled around the rim.
Speaking of getting down the floor in a hurry, North Carolina following suit. Nearly another takeaway by the North Carolina defense.
Louisville known as a team that presses and traps, but North Carolina bringing some of that out at a very good point in this game. Great decision by Courtney Bankart.
5 on the shot clock. Curry lets it go.
It is so brutal for a team when you play defense for 25 seconds. When you're trapping, when you're all up and down the floor, and then that team hits a three. It's a dagger.
Nyla Kelly putting North Carolina back out in front. Here comes some defensive pressure. Love having a little trouble even getting across midcourt. Only one starter on the floor at the moment for Louisville. That's Nyla Harris, but this is a team that Jeff Walz feels he can go 4 or 5 off the bench deep and feel pretty comfortable with the product on the floor. Curry has hit a couple of threes. 4 on the shot clock. Can she beat it again? Crosses over, steps back. The shot off. Not the finish. An open look for Love on the rebound.
Istanbulolo made that possible. Fighting Ustby for that loose ball, was able to get her hand on it.
And for the second straight possession, Maria Gakdang beat everybody down the floor. She's got 6 points. North Carolina back up by 2.
UNC setting back into this zone after that three-quarter court trap. I like that adjustment from Coach Banghart, throwing some different things at Louisville out of the timeout.
Istanbulolo. Tar Heels have made their last 5 shots. Kelly calls her own number, a little short off the front of the rim.
Forced shot by the freshman. I know they overloaded one side. She had an open lane, but still not the best shot UNC could have gotten.
Russell looking for some options. Istanbulolo can't knock down the shot from distance. Not sure she planned it that way, but we've seen 1 for North Carolina. Now Louisville will get the glass in their favor.
She's not afraid to shoot the long ball. That was a 2. Her foot was on the line. But now we've seen 2 long jumpers banked in today, Jim.
You said shooters like this, Jim. I mean, if you're getting the glass to work for you even, no, it's a good thing. Kelly, what a dish off for Gakdang. Follows her own shot and is fouled. Istanbulolo picking up her second. This Tuesday's ACC Network men's basketball doubleheader will start at 7 Eastern with number 7 Duke taking on Louisville. Then at 9, it's off to Blacksburg for Virginia Tech hosting Boston College. Duke trying to bounce back after a home loss to Pitt, 80-76.
Gakdang's had a really good second quarter, Jen, especially the second part of the second quarter where she's been running to the rim, getting herself open in transition for her teammates. She's made a big impact.
Gakdang, a member of the ACC all-freshman team a couple of years ago. Started her career at Boston College. Led all NCAA freshmen that year with 73 blocks. So there was a lane violation by Louisville, which means Gakdang will get a chance to go again. Usually a 70% free throw shooter, but she still comes up empty. Will those missed free throws come back to haunt the Tar Heels in this game that has been so tight? Here we are tied at 36. Under 30 seconds away from halftime. Curry, little strong, gets her own rebound.
Now with that, yes, exactly, Jen. We're reading each other's mind. Now they can hold for the last shot.
Foul on the floor, and it is of the offensive variety. So now that final shot could go to the Tar Heels.
So many charges in this first half. To me, the main takeaway is if you're attacking the lane, you give the official an extra reason to call you for an offensive foul. If you extend the armbar, extend the elbow, extend the hand, whatever you may do. We've seen that so many times with Deja Kelly, with Ricards. Attack tough, attack strong, but do not extend that opposite arm.
Oh, Kelly lost it. 3 seconds, final shot. Curry has it blocked. So the score should say 36 all. It is tied up at the half here in Chapel Hill. Cardinals so good at capitalizing when they turn teams over. Second half, here we go from Chapel Hill. Donarski trying to pick up where she left off in the first quarter. No points in the second quarter, and in fact, just 2 field goal attempts for Donarski. Taking that many in the first few seconds of the third quarter. Ustby cleaning up the mess. She'll try to do it again. Come on, y'all!
North Carolina with multiple offensive rebounds, but could not convert. Louisville lucky to come away, not allowing any points on that possession.
Top of the ACC in reach for whoever comes out of this one on top. Louisville came into this game in the lead. Sydney Taylor now has 8. Cardinals unbeaten in conference play. Steps called there and another turnover. Actually an offensive foul called against Gakdeng on that play right there.
Lowered her shoulder right into Olivia Cochran's face.
10th turnover, Kelly. 4 of those have been on offensive fouls against the Tar Heels in this game. Inside to Nyla Harris, off the glass and in.
Louisville is one of those teams that's very good at taking charges. It's part of why they're so good on defense, and right there, a quick turnover for Louisville. Sydney Taylor also throwing her teammate's shoe into the stands, and now Ricards only has on 1 shoe.
And she's trying to hustle down the floor. Deja Kelly taking advantage of the disarray as now Jayda Curry, who's on the bench for Louisville, hustles over to pick up the shoe that was tossed.
I understand tossing your teammate's shoe out of the play because you don't want someone else to trip on it, but she kind of chucked that shoe pretty far away from the play.
All right, on a much more serious note on that play, and credit Deja Kelly with a heads-up play, realizing things were maybe a little wonky. For Louisville, she goes at Olivia Cochran. Cochran picks up her 3rd personal on the play.
Both these teams are so downhill, meaning they want to go vertically. They want to get to the rim. Instead of going east-west, they want to go north-south. And that's very, very hard to guard. That's why you've seen quite a few fouls, because you pair the downhill nature of these teams with the physicality on the other side. And we knew it was going to be a rock fight, as Coach Bainhart told us before the game.
Kelly, 3 of 4 from the line. She has 8 points in the game. Had been struggling from the free throw line. Came into this game hitting just 64%, but was 17 for 20 over the last 2 games for North Carolina from the line. Cochran staying on the floor with those 3 fouls and rewarding her coach for that decision. Holding the follow through, now 4 for 5 from the field. Her mid-range game has been on point today.
Cochran's got to be careful. They could have called her for a foul right there on Gakdeng.
Kelly, here is Gakdeng. Switch it over to the right, pretty finish.
You've got to get Gakdeng touches, especially because Cochran has those 3 fouls. If she gets 4, you leave Coach Walls no choice but to put her on the bench.
8 points in the game now for Maria Gakdeng. 2-point Louisville lead. Harris looking inside for Taylor. Great movement off the ball for Sydney Taylor, who is fouled. Nyla Kelly, her 2nd personal. How about Taylor on the line?
How about the pass on that play from Harris?
When this Louisville team gets rolling, they really are a fun team to watch. It is all the pieces working together. There isn't that Asia Durr, superstar, Dana Evans, Haley Van Lith. It is all of these Cardinals making it work, but not at the free throw line, not that time.
The North Carolina student section making its presence known. They're back in school, so they're back on campus, and have shown up in full force here in Carmichael.
Cochran, Taylor, curling, dishing, Harris off the fingertips, Ricards finishes it off. Boy, Kelly, I'm told that 2 missed free throws in the second half by the opponent gets cookies. That may be why the students really were cheering. They like Deja Kelly scoring too, though. Do we get part of that?
Do we get free cookies? I don't know, but I know Deja Kelly is tough because that was such a difficult shot and probably some contact on that as well.
I like your segue.
This game has been so physical, Jim. Good grief. Even when there isn't a foul, there's just some sort of contact on every single possession.
Deja Kelly in double digits now with 10. Has tied her career high of 27 points twice in the last 3 games. Taylor, another good look for Cochran, who walks.
Great work by the UNC defense to be there when Louisville was dumping it down to the short corner. Just your presence can sometimes make a post player make a mistake in that situation.
Donarski to read the defense. Navarre, Stanford transfer in for the Tar Heels, as is Anya Poole.
Cochran's got to be careful on that high hedge.
Navarre driving. Blocking foul. Everybody holds their breath to see which way the officials will point. It is a blocking foul against the Cardinals. Nyla Harris, her second. Olivia Navarre from nearby Apex, North Carolina. Courtney Banghart knew her well, recruited her out of high school before she ultimately wound up going to Stanford, spent 1 year there, was a McDonald's and Jordan All-American, North Carolina Gatorade Player of the Year at Apex Friendship High School. Gets her own rebound off the missed free throw. Kelly, there's a foul against North Carolina. It's like Ustby, and that is her third.
Wow. So many offensive fouls in this game, both ways, and that time they called Ustby for the push-off. Just quite a few whistles at this point, Jen.
So Ustby out there with 3. Cochran also with 3 for Louisville, but add 2 more points to her total. She's got 10.
Cochran has been automatic in the mid-range.
Kelly, an answer back. That ball was touched as it went in, but didn't matter. Anya Poole has her first points. Every Tar Heel who has played in this game has now scored. One-point Louisville lead. Cardinals trying to remain unbeaten in ACC play. This their first real test, you could say. First ranked ACC opponent, but no ACC game is easy. Foul on the play. Crowd lets you know what they think of it here in Chapel Hill. It is the third on Navarre, and it'll put Cochran on the free throw line. Cochran, pretty good free throw shooter, about 83% on the season, and I jinxed her. This is the first.
Here's another look at that call. Yeah, that's a foul. This game has just been so physical. It honestly feels like, Jen, when the offensive team gets in the paint, there's going to be something.
You can tell this officiating crew trying to keep it under control. Rod Creech making the call well before that play even really got going. It's Ricards, her second. And so Louisville, 3 team fouls. North Carolina with 5, so already putting Cardinals in the bonus. And this one, that's back-to-back fouls against Ricards. Matter of seconds.
When you're guarding the ball handler, you can touch them once. You get 1 touch. The second time you make contact, they are going to call a foul.
The hot stove touch.
Yes, if you will, yes. The hot stove.
You touch it once. Tar Heels a chance to tie or take the lead. Donarski's been their best three-point threat. Knocked down a couple in the first quarter in this game. Kelly. Navarre. Kelly ready and waiting. Ustby tried to keep it alive, but it winds up in the hands of Jayda Curry, who just checked in for Louisville. Cochran calling for it. You said her mid-range has been on point. A little more distance to go on that shot attempt. Inside to Ustby. Single coverage. What a pretty finish.
Great job by Ustby, getting such deep position in transition and then using the left hand. She is a bit ambidextrous. Maybe we'll get to some video footage we have of that too.
Ooh, I like the tease. Versatile and ambidextrous in multiple sports. And in the present moment, that left hand of Alyssa Ustby has tied it up. Can the Tar Heels take the lead? Kelly will not be denied. Foul call.
Softball in soccer in high school, won state championships and all that. But I like how she was bringing attention to other women's sports at Carolina.
And to be fair, I didn't want to call her out for it when we talked to her, but I think there are a lot of people out there who might say, Alyssa, we feel you, but this could be considered a women's soccer school with the 22 national championships that Anson Dorrance's Tar Heels have produced over the years. But hey, Alyssa's given some love to all the teams, including soccer. Her good friend Allie Sentner just went #1 in the 2024 NWSL College Draft. Savvy King, a freshman defender for the Tar Heels, went #2. And yes, now I'm back to basketball as the Tar Heels have taken a 1-point lead on the Kelly free throw. Everybody waiting for a whistle. It doesn't come offensive or defensive on that play. 6 to shoot. Oh my.
In some ways, it feels like both these teams are playing to draw fouls instead of playing to score. And I think the difference in this game, the team that actually starts playing to score is probably going to win the game.
That's a good point. Here is Ustby. Gets a friendly roll inside.
That will work. Alyssa Ustby, that's what I mean. She caught that ball. She was not thinking, I'm trying to draw a foul. She was thinking, I am looking to score.
Ustby, the first triple-double in North Carolina women's basketball program history earlier this season. She has double-doubles, including that triple-double, in 3 of the Tar Heels' 6 ACC games so far. 5 to shoot for the Cardinals. Taylor does the honors. Kelly with the rebound. This game has been back and forth since the beginning. Donarski, though, hasn't scored since that early run, scoring the first 10 points for North Carolina. Kelly just upended as she was trying to go to the basket. Nyla Harris picking up her 3rd personal. Both teams in the bonus. I just looked at a number we actually couldn't believe. Louisville, a very good free throw shooting team, is 3 for 8 from the line. North Carolina at the line now, 7 for 13. So both teams leaving some points out there on the free throw line. But Kelly gets there again, makes the first.
And it's not often that a team gets to the free throw line more than Louisville in a game. North Carolina has been very aggressive getting to the rim. That time, an excellent play by Deja Kelly, trying to split the screen, split the defense, and get to the lane. Draws a foul. She's drawn 8 fouls in this game by attacking the rim and being aggressive.
7-0 run for the Tar Heels, sees them up 5 now on Louisville. Deja Kelly, 6 for 8 from the free throw line. Good hands from Ustby. Leading the break, Donarski with her. She gives it right back. Ustby is maybe a little too open.
That's a tough angle for Ustby. I think Donarski should have kept that and went up. It's tough. You're trying to make the unselfish play. And a good job by Ustby to pass it to Donarski initially. I know hindsight's 20/20, Jim, but if I'm Donarski, I'd take that up with the left hand.
Louisville's gone over 3 minutes without a point, allowing North Carolina to take this lead. 7-0 run. Now they turn it over. India Navarre leading the break for the Tar Heels. Gets the 2 in transition. The 9-0 North Carolina run.
UNC has blown this thing open. Louisville struggling to find some offense. Let's see if they can get the ball to Olivia Cochran. She's been their most consistent weapon on this end of the floor.
Ricards, now Russell. Also Russell from 3, leaves it short. Foul called on the Louisville defense. That's Ricards, her 4th.
Ricards has to make a bit of an adjustment here. She has to understand how the officials are calling this game. She's being way too handsy when guarding the ball. I'm fairly confident all 4 of her fouls have been called while she's guarding Deja Kelly. So I know she doesn't think it's the right call, and I understand, but no matter what you think, you have to adjust to the way the officials are calling the game in this moment.
Kelly good on the first free throw. And we've got gymnastics coming up for you next on ACC Network as Pittsburgh squares off against number 19 Clemson at Littlejohn Coliseum. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern. Fun seeing gymnastics getting going in the ACC officially this year. Carolina had their ACC opener this past Friday. Had a great crowd, 2,700 here at Carmichael for that meet. Louisville trying to make something happen on this end of the floor. They do eventually draw the foul. And that's 4 on Navarre.
We've had 14 fouls alone in this 3rd quarter. And again, no matter if you think the call is right or wrong, as a player, you got to adjust to it because A, you want to stay on the floor. Ricards with 4, Navarre with 4, so many other players with 3. At this point, you've got to start thinking, I cannot touch the offensive player when I'm guarding the ball. If I want to stay on the floor with the way they're guarding it, you've got to play defense without your hands.
And both of these teams have come out so aggressively and just continue that as the game has gone along. Curry rattles home the second. She has 8. Timeout called. Louisville trying to figure out how to climb back into this one. North Carolina up 7, trying to knock the Cards from the ranks of the unbeaten in the ACC.
I bought 3 of the same jacket to get the 4th free.
I subscribed to get a deal on these memory supplements, then forgot to cancel.
Well, you know, recognizing a bad deal is a part of the journey. Yes, Eva, would you like to share your breakthrough?
I got AT&T's best deal on the new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus and got to choose my plan.
Yes, we don't make you sign up for the top tier plan to get our best deal.
I still haven't gone. I subscribed to get a
Yeah,
deal on these
we
memory.
know.
And she can't come back in this ballgame.
Louisville on the offensive end has gone over 5 minutes without a field goal. Nyla Kelly. He got the opening and took advantage.
Jim, we've talked so much about Louisville and their balance. This is a year where they don't necessarily have an alpha. They don't have a 20-point score, even a 15-point score. That can hurt in times like this, where you're not doing much offensively. There isn't just one player you can go to and say, go get a bucket. In the past for Louisville, it's been Haley Van Lith, Dana Evans, A.D. Durr, the list goes on and on. They don't necessarily have that this year.
Got a 2-second difference. Shot clock, game clock here at the end of the third quarter. Crowd counting it down for Deja Kelly, being hounded by Kiki Jefferson. That one hurts. With 3.9 on the shot clock, Jefferson just picked up her 4th personal foul. Leading scorer on the season. If there was to be an alpha, oh no, excuse me, Lily Love. Yes, pardon me, that is Lily Love, and that's good news if you're Louisville,
Yes.
just because you want Jefferson to be out there on the floor playing free with the 4th quarter looming. Largest lead of the game now for North Carolina. Just doubled Jefferson's minutes for some reason, giving her that foul. 17 in the game now for Deja Kelly, and she's done quite a bit of damage from the free throw line. 10 of 12 free throws for Deja. Final shot of the quarter. Won't put Louisville any closer. They've got a ways to go to catch up with North Carolina. 4th quarter coming up.
Threes to start the 4th quarter. They can get right in this game.
See how the Cardinals start off the final quarter. Not the way they wanted. Tiani Key there defensively for North Carolina. It's been over 6 minutes without a field goal for Louisville. Cochran needs to be careful there. Ustby pulled down the rebound. Let's see who this is called on. Curry and Cochran were both there for Louisville. Cochran has 3 personal fouls, and I believe this one is going to go against Curry, her first. But there's a player down at the other end of the floor. Sydney Taylor was looking around trying to figure out what the delay was for. Taylor just now getting up.
She fell when she was attacking the rim.
Ooh,
Fell on the back or the tailbone maybe. Surely hope she's okay. And again, a lot of contact, as we've seen so much in this game. Maybe a push off, maybe some contact. They decided not to call anything there.
Deja Kelly, 11 of her 17 points in the 3rd quarter. Donarski, no points since the 1st quarter. Back to Donarski.
It's too early to say that could have been the nail in the coffin, but that would have been a big 3 for UNC. Louisville's playing in a dangerous time right now. They've got to get something going offensively.
Harris. Curry has it blocked. He has really been a strong defensive presence. And Cochran and Ustby, neither one willing to let go of the basketball.
Ustby just, she got that jump ball with her legs. The ball is between her legs. She's basically holding the ball with her legs instead of her hands.
I mean, we told you, we showed you, she played soccer. She can do it all.
I think that's allowed. Is that in the rule book of what necessarily you need to cause a jump ball? I guess just possession.
Between the calves. Every possession taking on a little more importance once you get to the 4th quarter. 7 to shoot. Kelly, short. And it is out of bounds. Louisville basketball.
I think Deja Kelly was expecting some contact, so when she didn't get any contact, she didn't know what to do. And that's why that shot was short.
So Kelly, what does Louisville need here to rediscover their offense in this game?
I'd love to see them go to Olivia Cochran. The way she's shooting the ball in the mid-range, run something for her in that 15-foot area. Jayda Curry has also been your spark plug. A 3 on this possession would be massive for Louisville.
Cochran, couple of shot fakes. Good look as Love cut through to the basket.
Olivia Cochran making something happen at the high post, looking for a shot, but then can also distribute as well.
Nyla Kelly in the corner. Ustby on the offensive glass.
North Carolina winning the rebounding battle by 10 at this point in the game. That's been a big factor as well.
Kelly, try another from 3 and hit it.
Good find by Deja Kelly. Especially if North Carolina is going to be hitting threes. Louisville cannot waste time. They've got to find a way to make up this deficit.
And Jayda Curry trying to do that, driving, draws the foul. She's still down, however, on the baseline.
Such a great find by Deja Kelly. She draws so much attention. And Nyla Kelly, not really known for a three-point shooting. She's 2 for 20 coming into this game. So they're playing off of her a little bit, making her prove it. That is a big shot for the true freshman.
Really big for her confidence, I would imagine, right? I mean, a player who was coming out of Alabama with so many accolades, Alabama Gatorade Player of the Year, getting to play some more minutes now with Paulina Paris out with that lower body injury.
It's rare to see a freshman that doesn't let herself get sped up. That's what I like about Nyla Kelly. She plays at her own pace. The game is not too fast for her at this point. And this is one of the better games we've seen from her in a Tar Heel uniform. Has been great with the basketball, but also provided a scoring punch that they need.
Curry can be that player for Louisville, as you've talked about. 10 in the game now for Curry. Last 4 coming from the free throw line. 10-point North Carolina lead. Love helps to take it away for Louisville. Cardinals one of the best at turning over their opponents and turning those takeaways into points. Cochran calling for it, has a size advantage. And the initial foul, Decanter, no hesitation. Offensive foul call.
Here's another look at that. It's that elbow in the hook, specifically how she tried to hook with that elbow. They are going to call that pretty much every time.
And that is 4 on Cochran. So this foul going against North Carolina. See the frustration of Courtney Banghart's face. Tiani Key called for the foul. Try to get it to single digits. Louisville with a chance to do that on this possession. Cochran playing with 4 fouls. Had to be careful there, going for the rebound. Deja Kelly leading North Carolina with 17 points. Ustby. Acrobatic catch and pass. Key couldn't find the finishing touch.
Tough miss for North Carolina. That was a heck of a catch by Alyssa Ustby.
Heck of a take on this end too. Jayda Curry starting to take over a little bit for Louisville on the offensive end.
Of course, Ustby with such a great catch, but just missed the layup for North Carolina. And this is what I like about Jayda Curry and why I think she's so important to this Louisville team. I am a believer that you have to be a great team, you have to have elite guard play, and specifically a guard that can get their own shot off the dribble. It's so hard if your best player is a post player, if your best player is a wing, to get them the ball in advantageous situations. Whereas if you can handle it like Curry or like Deja Kelly on the other end, you can make things happen yourself without necessarily a set play. And that's just part of the reason why I think Jayda Curry is so important to this Louisville team.
Curry 5 of 5 from the line. Make it 6 of 6. 4 of those coming in this 4th quarter, cutting North Carolina's lead to 8.
Louisville playing some zone on this possession, switching things up. I like the move.
Ustby hangs on to the basketball. 8 to shoot for Deja Kelly. Deja pulls up, short. Curry had been aggressive, going to the basket. This time pulls up for the jumper. It's good.
She's the X factor. She can be instant offense for this Louisville team, and now she has them within 6.
And she has 6 of Louisville's 8 in this quarter. 6-0 Cardinal run.
fastballs going to the zone, I think partly just to help his team not foul as much, knowing he has to keep players on the floor.
But Lexi Donarski with her first points since the clock said 5:36 in the first quarter. Boy, were they big ones.
Shooters shoot, Jim. Doesn't matter if you haven't made a shot since the first quarter. Shooters keep shooting.
3 triples in the game for Donarski, who just may have found that shooting touch back. Good defense by the Tar Heels. Empty possession for Louisville. Can't afford many of those. Jefferson, good dish off inside. Kelly got a hand to the basketball, but foul called against North Carolina.
Lexi Donarski with a massive shot for North Carolina. Just what they needed, trying to hold on to a win here in Carmichael.
Season shooting about 77% from the free throw line. Made their last 6. Jayda Curry, 4 of those in this fourth quarter. Nyla Harris on the line now. Hits the first. She has 9.
For UNC on the other end as well, keep playing your offense. Don't do anything differently there, but try to avoid quick shots. At this point, to keep Louisville off the line, you want to be able to run some clock, use a good bit of that shot clock while you get a good look.
Still a 3-possession game with that 7-point North Carolina advantage. Has really been fairly sporadic. Not a huge story, really, for either team, especially not for Louisville in this game. Navarre gets her own rebound. Nobody boxed out the shooter. Louisville gets away with it, though.
Besides all the fouls and the physicality that, of course, we expected, the rebounding battle's been the big story for me. North Carolina plus 10 on the boards. They also have 12 offensive rebounds. Louisville normally does not get out-rebounded by that type of margin, but North Carolina's done a great job on the glass.
Yeah, Louisville for the season plus 8.5 in the rebounding department. Harris rattles it home.
Here they come. Louisville is never going to go away with those free throws. That little stretch they went on where they made a bunch of free throws in a row, they're still in this basketball game.
North Carolina led by as many as 12 in this quarter. The Cardinals, they are coming. 5 points now, the difference. 5 to shoot. Kelly.
Cochran's got to be careful.
Gets it to Navarre in the corner. Oh, what a three!
What a massive bucket from India Navarre.
Taylor has it blocked on the other end. Ustby, Poole, Navarre, all there defensively for North Carolina.
That's exactly what you want to do if you're North Carolina in that previous possession. Use as much of the shot clock as you can and get 3 points. That's perfect execution from the Heels.
Well, Courtney Banghart told us she knows this team now. Totally different team than when they started the season. Turn the ball over here, but with 8 newcomers, she wasn't quite sure how they would all mesh. They have started to find their way.
And of course, Indy Navarre, you mentioned it earlier, Jen. Very highly rated high school player, McDonald's All-American. You're seeing some of that talent right now.
Jefferson to Cochran, good.
Olivia Cochran was also McDonald's All-American. There she goes with a bucket.
There's a few of them out there on the floor between these two teams. 13 in the game for Cochran. Preseason All-ACC selection for Louisville. Timeout called North Carolina. 6-point Tar Heel lead, trying to be the first team in the ACC to knock off the Cardinals this season.
I bought 3 of the same jacket to get the 4th free.
I subscribed to get a deal on these memory supplements, then forgot to cancel.
Well, you know, recognizing a bad deal is a part of the journey. Yes, Eva, would you like to share your breakthrough?
I got AT&T's best deal on the new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus and got to choose my plan.
Yes, we don't make you sign up for the top tier plan to get our best deal.
I still haven't gone. I subscribed to get
Yeah,
a deal on
we
these
know.
Get the newest Galaxy on us with any of our best plans, guaranteed.
In a game this tight, you know the free throw line, especially as many fouls as we've seen, Kelly, can really make a difference. Louisville was 3 for 8 at one point. Started to pick things up there and pick up some points from the line, too.
Some uncharacteristic misses from the free throw line, Jen. You say they started 3 for 8. This is a team that shoots nearly 80%.
And Deja Kelly just calming things down, always keeping an eye on that shot clock. Last possession, she gave it to Navarre. This time takes it herself. Ustby wide open for the putback. 9th double-double of the season, 31st of Alyssa Ustby's career. Cochran dishes it at just the right time, and Harris has 6 in this quarter. 14 in the game.
Cochran is so hard to guard around that high post area. Can shoot it, can distribute, but Louisville has to get some stops. They've been scoring at a good rate in the fourth quarter. If they don't string together 2 or 3 consecutive stops, they're not going to be able to come back and win this game.
When you think about Louisville over the years, this is a team, it starts on defense. This is what they pride themselves on. 5 to shoot for Kelly. Oh! It's a dagger!
What a shot by Deja Kelly, the floater, using the backboard yet again, Jen.
Harris having a big game for Louisville, answers back, and one opportunity coming.
Nyla Harris has been great down the stretch, but how about Deja Kelly? The floater off of 1 foot, such a tough shot. And then Louisville back the other way very quickly, knowing they don't have as much time. I don't know how Nyla Harris made that shot. She was practically on the floor. Unbelievable effort from Nyla Harris, who has had a massive second half for Louisville. 10 points in this second frame.
And 8 of those, Kelly, in this fourth quarter.
A 4th foul on Alyssa Ustby as well.
So add that to the foul trouble list if you're keeping track. Miss from the free throw line for Harris. Leaves a point to be had. Under a minute to go. Louisville with just 2 team fouls before that. Having to be mindful. 2 more fouls. And that will then put North Carolina on the line.
I wouldn't foul yet, though. I would try to get a steal here, get a trap, see what you can do, and then commit a foul if you need to.
Ooh, but what you don't want to do is leave somebody wide open. Anya Poole found herself in just that position, and timeout called. Jeff Walls in Louisville.
Perfect execution by North Carolina. Louisville's being overly aggressive because they're trying to force a steal, they're trying to force a turnover, and North Carolina passing the ball so well. Look at that. No dribbles once they got past half court. 4 passes once they got past half court. Did not need a dribble. Every player touched the ball. And of course, Anya Poole with the finish. That is just beautiful basketball from UNC.
Louisville, 1 timeout remaining. North Carolina has 3. With that timeout, Jeff Walls, of course, can't advance the basketball. So now does it change? You think Louisville has to score fairly quickly here? Does their defensive game plan change now, Kelly?
Yes, because your deficit now is 8. You have to score as quickly as possible here, and then I think you foul again, but you don't foul Deja Kelly. I think rule number 1 is you don't foul Deja Kelly. Alyssa Ustby, for all the things that she does well, is only a 59% free throw shooter. I do imagine UNC will have her take the ball out or against the ball, so we'll see there.
Cochran to Curry, looking for the 3, blocked by Ustby. She's everywhere.
We are always on triple-double watch with Alyssa Ustby. That is her 7th block.
Oh my goodness.
Of this afternoon. She has 10 points, 12 rebounds, and now 7 blocks.
However, she's not going to get the triple-double because after the block, she fouled out.
Wow, they called a foul there.
Yeah, after the fact, there was some contact. You could see the block was clean, but then after, as we were looking at it, that's when she got into a little bit of trouble. So Ustby's going to have to sit down. Cochran on the free throw line, 83% free throw shooter on the season. Not getting the love on the away court rim. points for Cochran, 1 for 3 from the line. Misses them both. More free cookies for the fans, and maybe a little more. This would be a big one for North Carolina. Coming into this game, all the implications, Kelly, not just right now in terms of who rises to the top of the ACC, but who might be there when it gets to March.
Just a massive game for so many different reasons when you look at the AP poll and standings, etc. But the tiebreaker aspect of this game is so interesting to me. This is the only time these two will play in the regular season. If they finish with the same record and it's between the 2 seed, the 3 seed, the 3 seed, the 4 seed, maybe the 1 seed, this game matters so much, and UNC, it's looking like at this moment, will own that tiebreaker.
Oh, Love had her hands on the basketball, does get the steal for Louisville. Harris fouled. Nyla Harris continues to have a big quarter for the Cardinals. 8 points already in this quarter. She'll go to the line. Navarre, I believe, is going to join Ustby on the bench. Yep, that's her 5th.
Another Tar Heel player has fouled out. And Jen, of course, this game is by no means over. Crazier things have happened, but if Louisville does lose this game, I think they'll look at the free throw line. They've missed 8 free throws for a team that shoots nearly 80% from the line. If you've made 5 more of those, we've got a completely different feeling basketball game right now.
Another miss. Wondered if early free throws misses, I think it was North Carolina I asked, might come back to haunt them. Louisville feeling those ghosts right now in a big way. Timeout called immediately upon possession by Courtney Banghart in North Carolina. For the Tar Heels, Kelly, should they hang on in this one? What kind of a statement does this make for this Tar Heel team?
Well, even going into this week, Jen, I thought UNC was underranked in the AP poll. I had them inside the top 20. I was very surprised when they were 23. They lost to a very good Florida State team, beat Virginia, also had that Syracuse win. So I think this week where they go on the road to Georgia Tech, and then if they hold on here against Louisville, they should, without a doubt, jump up to the top 20, maybe even the top 15. I think it sends a big message nationally that we were figuring ourselves out a bit in the non-conference with these transfers. But now, a 6-1 start in the ACC, when you've played a very tough schedule so far in the league, playing Syracuse, Notre Dame, Florida State, now Louisville, that's 4 ranked teams.
Yeah.
I think this sends a big message about UNC and how they're playing right now.
And compare that to Louisville. Cardinals coming into this one 5-0 in the ACC, but today against North Carolina, facing their first ranked conference opponent. Tar Heels advance the ball off that timeout. Too much contact with Love. And Ricard's teaming up, trying to take it away from Kelly. Foul is on Love. And as you said, this is the one you really don't want to foul, but there's not much choice in the matter when North Carolina is putting the ball in Deja Kelly's hands. Her free throw numbers for the season, as I mentioned earlier, not great, but she gets to the line so often as she's done today. She came in with 114 free throw attempts that led the ACC, ranked 5th in the country. And it has certainly been a big part of her scoreline today. 19 points, 10 of 12 from the line.
Jen, she also shot 12 free throws against Georgia Tech on Thursday night, shot 8 against Virginia, and has shot the ball a lot better from the free throw line the last couple games. She shot 86% from the line as a sophomore, so she has that capability.
Yeah, whatever funk she might have been in from the line, I know she certainly hopes it's behind her. Timeout called, Jeff Walls. That's his last one. No more timeouts remaining for Louisville. What's he trying to draw up here, Kelly, for 26 seconds left on the clock?
Well, there is no 10-point play, as we know, Jen, but I think you have to find a way to get a three-pointer. Jayda Curry, I would get her in some sort of ball screen action or have the ball in her hands and make her make a play, because you need a 3 at this point. I know the common knowledge is just to extend the game as long as you can, make it go as long as possible, hope the other team makes mistakes. But when you're down 10, you have to get a 3 at this point. I don't think you have a choice in any way in that situation, Jen. But the big difference in this game, so many differentiators. We talk about the free throw line, Deja Kelly. rebounding has been huge. North Carolina, one of their weaknesses last year, and one of the reasons why I think they lost some of those ACC games, didn't get a top 4 seed, was their rebounding and just not having enough inside when it comes to post play. They've shored that up, bringing in Gokdang. Anya Poole's given them some very good minutes today, and that's been big. This is a much better rebounding team than they were last year.
Well, and they've gotten better as the season has gone along. North Carolina, if the rebounding numbers hold today, which you'd think they would, Tar Heels have won the rebounding battle the last 5 games in a row now after being out-rebounded their first 2 conference games. So you would have to think Jayda Curry, number 30 in black, is who Louisville wants to get the ball for a 3-point shot. She was shooting 60% from 3 in conference play. Instead, they surprise everybody and go inside to Cochran. She misses, but was fouled. Poole called for the foul.
I think they wanted to go to Jayda Curry, but North Carolina defended it really well. They brought Curry out to the corner. That left Olivia Cochran with a one-on-one in the paint. It's a great sideline out of bounds. And I think Jeff Walz is just taking that approach of let's extend this game as long as possible and see if something crazy happens.
Cochran has now missed 3 straight free throws in this 4th quarter
to make that happen. This is just so uncharacteristic of Louisville. This is one of the best free throw shooting teams in the nation, and they've shot 50% in this game.
And that snapped a streak of 5 straight free throws that Louisville as a team had missed in this 4th quarter. Timeout, North Carolina. 24 seconds to go. Tar Heels trying to hang on, and they have really done such a nice job, as you've talked about, Kelly, of executing when they've had the lead in this final quarter.
They really have, and you're seeing some of the depth that they brought in the transfer portal making an impact. We mentioned Gokdang earlier. Of course, Lexi Donarski, who has 13 points in this game and scored the first 10 for North Carolina. I thought India Navarre brought a lot for them off the bench and is going to be a great player for UNC for the next couple of years. You're seeing those players they brought in mixing in with the old faithfuls, if you will, in Deja Kelly and Alyssa Ustby. Those transfers, though, have made a huge impact.
Tar Heels looking to improve to 6-1 in ACC play. Vie for the top spot in the conference. Good hands by the Cardinals, and then they just barely do keep it in. Kiki Jefferson. A little quiet. Taylor, the 3, short. North Carolina ball. Deja Kelly leading the way once again for North Carolina. Sydney Taylor not quite done yet. Commits the foul. Boos raining down from this pretty packed house, as it has been over the last few years. North Carolina women's basketball bringing them in.
We have seen some great crowds in Carmichael, especially last year into this year, as this team continues to cement itself as a top 25, top 20 program. So I've been impressed, and I like the initiatives they did today with the youth clinic going into the game. You love to see stuff like that.
Deja Kelly now with 22 points, 13 make it, 14 made free throws. That is a new career high from the line for Deja. Helping to seal the deal for North Carolina, who is going to knock off the Louisville Cardinals, handing the Cards their first ACC loss. North Carolina moving on up in the ACC. Big win.